Hello everyone, welcome to another video brought to you by Kofi. So for this video, I'm going to show you how you can automate web server and also website deployment using script. So we're going to use the custom data to automate the whole process in Azure. So without any further ado, let's get started. So what I'm going to do is first of all to spin up a virtual machine. So to get that, we can simply type in virtual machine at the top here in the search field, or you can use the search option on the left side and then select virtual machines. So once you select virtual machines, you can then click on add or create virtual machine. So you see a create button at the top here. Click on that one and then select the first option that comes up, which is the Azure virtual machines. So once you select that, then you can easily fill in this information. So the first thing you have to do is just put in your subscription and then your resource name. So I'm just going to create a brand new resource group. So I'm just going to name this one custom VM test. Select that and then give your virtual machine a name. So I'm just going to name this one as custom VM. Then you select the region you want to place your virtual machine. And if you want to utilize availability zone to make it highly available, then you can also go for that option. But for this, because this one is just a test, I'm just going to place this one in just zone 1. So I can either do that, or I can also select no availability required for this option. So once I have that one set, I'll go and select my image. So I'm going to use Ubuntu server for this purpose. And for the architecture, I'll leave it as the x64. And for the deployment size of my VM, I'll leave this one as standard D2AS version 5. So this will cost me £51 per month. And I have 8 gig memory. So that's good enough for this test session. Right, so once you've done that, we move on to the account administration. So we have to set up a password or use SSH public key. Because this is a test, I'll simply use the password, but in a production environment, I would strongly recommend that you use the SSH public key for that matter. So I'm just going to give it a name as AZ user, and I'll give it a password. All right, so the password is done. And for this, because I want this one to be a web server, I'll also probably need to add an extra port to allow access on port 80, so that once the website is deployed, we can have access to the web server. I'll show you the script that we're going to use for the creation of this service momentarily, and then we can walk through it once we get to the session where we have to enter those scripts. So now I'm just going to add port 80. So port SSH port 22 is open. I'll also follow up with port 80. So that means during the deployment, it's going to also provision port 80 in the network interface as well. Okay, so that's all done for this page. And in terms of the networking part, I'm not too concerned about that, but you can still go through all these options. So we go into the disk. I'll leave the disk option as it is. And for networking, I'll go ahead and create a new VNet and also newer subnet, and a public IP address will be issued for this interface as well. All right. And as you can see, I've already enabled port 80 and also SSH on port 22. Then I'll proceed to management, and in management too, I'll leave it as it is. Proceed to monitoring, and I'm not going to enable any monitoring, for this is just a test. and I'll go into the advanced section. So this is where we have to add the custom data. So navigate down to the custom data area, and then in this field, this is where we add our script. To bring up the script I'm going to use for this purpose. Okay, so this is the script I'm going to use. So we're just going to go through this script so you know exactly what we are going to do here. So the first part is just to install update. So once our Ubuntu web server is installed, we proceed to install update and also proceed to upgrade it, so that at least we're running the latest version of the Ubuntu. The next part is installing the Nginx web server. So this will be the application that will be serving our web content. So once you've done that, I will then proceed to clone this GitHub repository. So this is my own GitHub, which have a website for my jollof rice restaurant. So then it will provision that to the Ubuntu, and once it's provisioned, then it will create a directory. So it will create this directory, cd into that directory, and then the next part here, it will copy the content of this GitHub to the www.html path of my Nginx. So once that is done, it will proceed and open up port 80 on the Ubuntu and then reload the firewall as well. And the last bit is all about just echoing a message to indicate that everything has been done successfully. That means installation of the Nginx, the update first, Nginx, GitHub repository cloning, then content upload to Nginx, and also open up port 80, and that'll be echoed into the directory we have in here. All right, so let's proceed with this. So I'm just going to copy my code. So I'll copy everything, move this away from the screen, and paste the code in here. Okay, so once we have everything all done, we can then proceed to the tagging. In the production environment, I would strongly recommend that you proceed with adding tags to this. And I'll proceed to click on review and create. Okay, so validation have been done successfully. So you just proceed with the creation. So essentially with this code added, the script added, it will create a virtual machine and then follow through with automating the process of installing of the Nginx, and then following through the update, and then pulling the content from GitHub and set it up our website. So just imagine how quickly that is compared to manual process. So if you're doing this manually, then each of the steps that we have in the script, you have to literally manually go through that. So during the update, it have to be interactive. Then you probably have to put in yes and select other options. But I've automated the whole process, so this will not even take more than 5 minutes, and it will provision the whole website in just a single go. So let's proceed with that. So you simply click on create, and this will go ahead and provision our virtual machine, and it will also include this custom script as well. Okay, so it's all done already. So it took less than probably 3 minutes. Everything has been deployed. So let's go to our resources. So once you go to resources, we can then copy their corresponding IP addresses to access our web content. So simply copy that, open up a new browser, paste that in, and here we go. So it should load up our website. There you go. So our website is fully loaded up. So as you can see, it's nice and simple to just set this up. It didn't even take just like 3 minutes to, it took about 3 minutes to set this up. And I now have my jollof rice website all saved. Now my customers can easily order food with ease. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If this video helped you out to automate your own website creation, please leave a comment below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.